Welcome to the playground with your host, Eddie Fluellen. That would be me. And today I'm honored to have as guests the original Stone City Band. Specifically, specifically Lanise Hughes, the
All
drummer,
right.
Nate Hughes, his brother, the percussionist, and Tom McDermott, the guitarist. How you guys doing?
Good, Eddie.
Good, man.
Good. Glad to have you. Really honored to have you.
Thank you. Thank you.
What have you guys been up to these days? Handling all this madness.
Staying safe.
Yes, sir.
There you go. There you go. The message of
Ask
the day.
it up.
The message of the day. We're talking Grammy Awards, American Music Awards, Gold and Platinum Records, Stone City Band, and I am honored to be music director for this band. And what was important to me to bring out to the band, even during that time, is how important these guys are. Rick James, of course, everybody knows that Rick James was the leader, but these guys are the ones that back not only Rick James, but we're talking Teena Marie, the Mary Jane Girls, Eddie Murphy, the Temptations. I mean, the whole gamut. And so if there is an unsung, these guys are like the unsung heroes. These guys are totally unsung. So I'm hoping that we can talk a little bit about, what you guys have done pretty much in the background. So, but we're going to bring you out front. And I neglected to mention, of course, Stone City Band. You guys back up Stone City. So with that, let's start with like your beginnings and all that. Individually, one of the things I always ask all my guests is like how you started with your individual instrument, with Tom on guitar and Lanise on drums and Nate on percussion. What was your inspiration? What got you started? And I'll start with Tom.
Yeah, what got me started playing guitar?
Yeah.
It was listening to like the Who, the Beatles.
That always seems guitar players' answer, the Beatles.
Yeah, the Beatles. Like, whoa, that was so cool.
Uh-huh.
And then I didn't start playing until like I was 15. And I really got into West Montgomery a lot.
Ah, okay.
And was into jazz. Joe Pass. I was into jazz when I first started playing.
Uh-huh.
And because I said, well, somebody told me, hey, play octaves. It's easier to play.
Is it easier to play?
Not really. No, it's just I fell for
Not really.
it, being stupid or something, But yeah, just listening to jazz, and then I wanted to start trying to make some money out of it. So I went to, join different bands, club work, and things like that,
Mm-hmm. And you said you got serious with it, or did you start at 15, or you got serious with it at 15?
I got pretty serious from the get-go,
Mm-hmm.
And I just was taking lessons and all that.
You did take lessons?
Yeah.
Cool.
Learn as much as I can, just like everybody else,
Right.
But today it's like, I wish I had YouTube and all that other stuff we have today,
Right. Don't we all? Don't we
Yeah.
all?
But,
all the money that we was saved.
I know.
Yeah. How about you, Lanise, on drums?
I started at a very early age, like about 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And my father had started me off playing like a snare drum, except my snare drum was a Quaker Oats box.
Oh, wow.
All I had really was some sticks, drum sticks.
Now that was the round circular, right.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
That was my snare drum at the time until I got one.
Uh-huh.
And then later on, my dad brought home a drum set. So I was the only one in the neighborhood that had a drum set.
Oh, wow.
And I was practicing on it. And I wasn't really serious about playing drums because I wanted to be an editorial cartoonist. That's where my real,
Wow.
was in.
Uh-huh.
And because in 4th grade, I did a comic book. And I
In
sent
4th grade?
Yes.
Wow.
I drew everything. I did it on newspaper print. I drew it. I wrote the script, everything. Sent it to Marvel Comics. Stan Lee sent me a letter back saying if I was of age, I'd have had a job at Marvel.
Get out. You were that good?
Yeah, at the time, because I was really into it.
Uh-huh.
And then I got into the music and
Do you still
to the wayside.
Do you still have that letter around anywhere?
No, I don't. I wish I did. It would be worth $1 million.
I'm sure it would be. It would be. Nate, was he any good?
Yeah, he was good, man. I mean, we kind of took over from My father, he was a great artist, man. He
Oh
did a
yeah.
variety of different things, you know.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Do you still kind of draw? Do you still kind of dabble in that a little bit, Lanise, or no?
No,
No, not at
I've
all.
been for,
No, not even picked up a pencil and paper attempted, huh?
but I gotta start again.
Yeah, yeah. Especially now.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. And Nate,
Yes, sir.
what got you started? You're a percussionist, right?
Uh,
Or did
Actually, I
or how
started
did you
out on
start?
drums.
Okay, I had a feeling it wasn't percussion.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be in the drum and bugle corps
Oh
when
wow.
I was young.
Okay.
It was like drum line, you know. So we
Yeah.
had uniforms and everything. And one of our rival opponents, you know, we used to battle against was the Brown Cadets, which
Uh-huh.
Rick belonged to the Brown Cadets.
Wow. Okay. Okay. That being Rick
Uh,
James, everybody.
Yeah.
So okay,
yeah,
and you said he belonged to the opposing group.
yeah. And
Oh,
we used to have battles, you know. This was
okay.
before I actually knew him personally,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, but I knew he had belonged to the Brown Cadets. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, Question. I remember when Stone City. This is a few years back. We played Buffalo, and the question came up. I remember specifically asking the question, and I don't know if we just happened to be in the area, but the name Stone City Band. How did you guys come up with that name?
Okay, Rick came up with that name.
Okay.
Stone City represent the projects in Buffalo, New York,
Ah.
which was basically made of stone.
Okay. Okay. And we had
So,
driven by there, and I think and Nate told me that. I'm like, what? Really? That's what.
Yeah.
That's where it came from.
yes.
All
Yeah,
right.
there were many projects in Buffalo.
Really? Now, was it a specific building, or was it pretty much like all the buildings? It was all referred to as
All
Stone
of
City.
them.
All over, yeah.
They were all built of stone, built
Yes.
Yeah.
from stone. Really? Are they still there?
Some of them are, some of them are torn down.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Awesome. Awesome. So, um, I was reading that there was a major tour planned, of course, for Stone City, but because of this whole pandemic thing, that pretty much stopped everything. Um,
Yes.
and I got to tell you, I mean, I play with these guys. I mean, not only is it educational, but it's fun. These guys are awesome to play with. So again, it's an honor to have you guys here. So Rick James, he started this whole thing, right?
Right?
Okay, okay. Okay. How did that start? Of course, did he go on his own and come back and get you guys, or did you guys go with him?
Oh, he was on his own.
Okay.
He had
Okay.
off up to Canada. He
Okay.
was up there for a while, and he got to sing lead for a band that Neil Young
Neil
was in.
Young. He was Neil Young's lead singer.
The
Neil
minor,
Young.
right?
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay. Okay. Wow. Wow. And so so he goes on after that, and he goes to did he go to Motown directly from there, or how did his?
The name of the band was called the Minor Birds.
Oh,
They
okay.
did record for Motown Records,
Mm-hmm.
but when they found out Rick went AWOL, that canned the deal for the band.
Oh wow. Okay.
They didn't get a chance to release anything. But that was
Okay.
the first recording. But later on, the band, disbanded, and Rick decided to put something together. And he did a recording, him and another guy up in Toronto. They came out with a single called Get Up and Dance. He decided to distribute it by himself. And that's how he got the money to go into the studio to record a demo
Okay.
that he could shop around. So he hired some musicians in Buffalo to go in the studio and record for a song demo. They did that. He took it to Motown Records. Berry Gordy loved it. So he got the advance money to do side B. He came back and he got another set of musicians, and they recorded the album, put the album out, and the first single was You and I.
Okay. And that's
And
the Come and Get It album.
yes,
Okay.
and the song took off so fast that they couldn't even keep enough albums in the store because
Mm-hmm.
it was selling that quick.
Mm-hmm.
They really wasn't into him like that. They
Right.
just threw out a few albums, say, okay,
Right.
let's see what happened.
Mhm.
And it blew their mind when it caught on that quick.
Yeah, right.
And
Rick,
it just flew.
yeah, yeah. Rick came over there and changed everything up
Yes, he did.
over Motown
Yeah.
Records, over Motown.
Yeah.
So
But they,
before that, had you played with him before as a band? Had you all played with him before as a band, or did it all come
yeah,
together after
when
that?
he released the single "Get Up and Dance," he needed a band, and he asked Levi, his best friend at the time, could we back him up, on a couple of shows, and we did, and
Mm-hmm.
he loved it. And
Awesome.
so, he took us in the studio and recorded 2 songs, which never came out because we got signed to Revelot Records. I know you remember them.
Uh-oh.
We got signed to them, and they disbanded. We never even got our stuff out there.
Levi Ruffin, the keyboard, your
Yep.
keyboard player. Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
So then you guys record the album. Did you record a lot of the material with him on the Come and Get It album?
No, we
Okay.
didn't record anything. Levi did. He got on there. It was just a group of musicians that came in and recorded that album. He didn't have a band at the time, but after his album hit, Barry told him he needed a band, and Barry Gordy was going to put together a band from Motown to back Rick up. But Rick didn't want that. Rick wanted his own band.
Right.
And he told Barry that he knows some fellas that he can get, and he would bring them out to California and show him, his band. He didn't want a Motown band. And the rest is history.
Awesome.
Our first show with Rick as a band was Dick Clark Live, Wednesday Night Live.
Wednesday Night Live. Oh my God. We're totally going back. Yeah.
We played Mary Jane live. It was a winner. We got to play Midnight Special, and then
played Mary Jane live. It was all live.
Oh yeah, it was definitely live. We was on the same show with Chicago and Raquel Welch. And
what a show!
Yeah,
man. Okay.
And at the time, the guitar player Terry, he had just committed suicide.
Oh, so that was their first performance with their new guitarist?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And before we got on to do the show, Rick was telling everybody in the band, please don't mention nothing about Terry, because it's still, a little sadness with the band.
It was that soon after?
It was, yeah. And as soon as we saw them backstage when we was getting dressed, first thing came out of Rick's mouth, sorry about Terry.
Oh, man.
And we all looked at one another like,
oh my
he made this big thing about don't mention it.
And with Rick, I can imagine how loud that was.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right. It was kind of interesting because at the time, Switch had just done the Reaching for Tomorrow album at Caribou Ranch, where they recorded that they made famous. And again, it was a wide open wound. I mean, you can totally feel, the mood there at Caribou Ranch. It was really dark because it had not happened too long before we had gone there. So I can totally relate to that. So, guitar player Tom, you're with the band. At what point did you come in? Were you there at the beginning, or was this later, or?
I came in after they came into Hollywood, and they were at this big house. And they had just done the was it Bustin' Out album?
Yeah.
And so they were looking for a guitar player, and Lisa Sarda said, "Hey, you got to check this out." So I went over there and kind of auditioned, I guess, and then everything was cool. And
now it's perfect.
Totally, and especially
he just
with
came in to that slot and was like he was always there.
Right,
that's how good it felt.
And especially with the way the writing came, I'm sure Tom, just like you said, Tom fit like a glove, because I mean that rock influence is there, and Tom's like totally got it nailed. So Tom, you weren't there on the American bands on Bandstand show?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not till later.
Because I was going to ask, I was going to ask you about that Mary Jane, that guitar line.
Oh,
So,
the pentatonic scale.
right. So what was that like for all of you? I mean, of course, Lanise and Nate, like you said, you guys had pretty much come up with him. What was it like to work with him, like in the studio, or as far as like writing and all that?
Well, it was very educational, man, because I had no idea, about, all the instrumental and electronics and whatnot that was involved in the studio.
And he
But
did.
I was all ears, man. I just sat and watched and listened. I learned a lot from Tom Fly. Tom Fly, he was amazing, man. He didn't mind showing us different things, man, and getting involved in the studio. I kind of lived in there.
Oh, okay, I can imagine. Tom, what was his approach to like to playing in the studio and writing and production and things like that?
Yeah, from what I remember, we did very little rehearsal before we went into the studio. Basically, the studio was where the album was created musically and everything else.
Okay.
I mean, and it was like a whirlwind. You'd go in there and, whew, it was crazy, I mean, even like in his lyrics, he really didn't have any of the lyrics down until he'd be listening back, and then he'd be with this legal pad writing things down. And he'd go, stop, okay, play it again,
He would actually stop. He'd like stop the rolling of the tape and then write a lyric down. And wow, really? So everything for him like pretty much happened on the fly.
Yeah, everything. It was kind of stressful too,
I can imagine.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, here's the guitar part or here's the piano part. It was just, and yeah, it was.
So it sounds like, especially for you, like Tom play, come up with the part. Was it kind of like that, or?
You kind of had your input, and then he had his input,
Okay.
And you took it from there,
And honestly, which input won out? It's okay.
So I don't know. Sometimes it was just a matter of him. He wanted to hear a certain thing, And then,
yeah. Okay. And Nate, Lance, it was the same with you guys. I have this idea. Kind of play this. What can you come up with?
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes he would say like, Nate, what do you hear on this groove right here? And I'll just start playing something, and then he'll either like it or he didn't. Most of the time, he liked what I played, which was an honor. He just say, okay, go put it down.
Wow.
Just like that,
Wow. So, as far as like all the different songs you guys played with Rick, or did you even play on tour? Is there? And I hate to ask this question because it's so cliche. As far as like your favorite song, and before you say, well, we don't have a favorite, it's all of them. let me rephrase the question. What is your favorite song to perform, to play?
Up and below.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. Tom?
We never played it.
I like Super Freak because the audience really got into it.
Yeah.
It was like pandemonium. It was awesome. They just went freaking crazy.
Really.
They knew the words and everything.
Right. It's fun to watch it. It's really fun to watch. From my perspective. Lanise, what was the songs you just mentioned?
Cop and Blow off the Busting Out album.
Yeah. Okay, and did you say you never played it?
No.
Well, we did on the very first tour we did. Then that was it. We haven't played it.
I would love to play this, now.
Really? Well,
awesome.
Yeah.
The groove is infectious.
So I want to go back to Super Freak since you mentioned that in the audience response. When of course everybody knows that MC Hammer sampled that song for his song "You Can't Touch This." What was you guys' immediate reaction when you heard about it? Because I'm sure you heard about it before it was actually out.
It was like, oh, what?
Exactly.
What's going on?
What is this?
What?
And I mean, it blew up. It blew up.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah, I remember hearing that on the radio. I go, damn, that's my guitar line.
Oh yeah.
Now, is it true? Is it true that you guys were called in to re-record it with him?
Hey, I have a quick question for you. Do you want a professional agency to handle all your video creation, syndication, and monetization needs? We totally understand that new leads and customers are the lifeblood for any business. And if you're looking to grow or scale your business, using video is definitely the best way to go. Here at Melrose 11, we specialize in getting you the results you need to help you grow your business by generating new leads, driving more traffic, and closing more sales without breaking your bank. Did you know, according to HubSpot, having a well-targeted video on your landing page can increase conversions by up to 80%? Yeah, and up to 64% of users are more likely to buy a product online after watching video than by text alone. And that 92% of mobile users share videos with others. And 90% of users say that videos are helpful in their purchase decision making. Incorporating video into your marketing and social media activity is no longer an option, it's an absolute requirement if you're looking for long-term success. Heck, it may even be essential for the very survival of a business. Here at Melrose 11, media truly is our passion. We create animated explainer videos, social teasers, catchy intros, full HD commercials, and even viewer interactive videos. So, if you're looking to elevate your brand, or attract more leads, generate more sales, increase traffic, or build up more exposure for your business, then you've definitely come to the right place. Our professional team will develop your video campaigns at an affordable price, with our fast turnaround times, and a quality of work that can't be beat. We look forward to working with you.
Is it true that you guys were called in to re-record it with him?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that's sampled. The whole track was sampled.
It was all sampled.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They
So
did the whole track.
he used the original. Did he use the original
Yeah.
recordings? Oh, okay. For each part,
Yeah.
he recorded it that way. Or did he use like a whole track and
Yeah.
He just
He
stole
was-
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were saying he used like individual tracks and sampled it that
no.
way.
It was the
Oh,
whole
okay.
thing.
Okay. So this song blows up.
Mhm.
Do you do that song in your set?
Yes, we do.
No. I mean, you can't touch this.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help.
We won't touch that.
When we play it, we should pause and say, "You can't touch this."
Right. That's
That'll work.
actually a great idea. That's actually a great idea. You should
That'll
do
work.
that. So,
Yeah.
so as far as like the other artists that you guys have worked with, Teena Marie, right,
Mhm.
and Mary Jane Girls. I'm sorry, the Mary Jane Girls. Eddie Murphy and the Temptations as well. You guys recorded with each and every one, with all of them, correct?
Yes.
Don't forget
Okay.
processing the do-rags.
I'm sorry. Say again.
Processing the do-rags.
Okay. So as far as like all the different, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And Val Young.
Oh, right, and Val. Right. I totally forgot about Val. it. Okay. So let me go one by one. As far as like Teena Marie, what was that? What was she like to work with?
She was she was really easy to deal with, as far working with rather.
Mhm.
There was no ego. She just basically said you can play what you want, and she liked it.
Okay. Now I imagine she came to you with songs, right? I mean, she actually came to you with like. This is
Yeah.
my song,
She
and
had
something.
she had an idea. She had a format. It wasn't like all of a sudden let's go frantic.
Right.
Right.
She did.
Yeah.
Okay. And then was it the same with the Mary Jane Girls, or that was more Rick James production?
That was Rick's deal. He would,
Okay.
he'd be same thing.
Right. But it worked. Right.
Yeah. In fact, there's a YouTube video where he's in the studio and he's they're putting down, or he's writing lyrics. That's what it is. And they're in the studio, and he says to one of the Mary Jane Girls, "Come here," and he says, "Let me be." And they started singing. She started singing. He started singing the part, and she was almost have to like mind read him. You know, like what are you doing? Yeah, it was pretty intense. You know, work with the cat sometimes.
Wow, wow, really,
Yeah.
really. So to come up with those grooves and all that stuff, did he pretty much have like an idea of the groove, or did you guys come up with the grooves with him, or did you come up with them on your own? How did that work? Because I mean, some of those grooves are pretty distinct. I mean, they're not like all over the place. They're like, you know, right there. And I got to say, Lanise with his drums, I mean, he keeps talking about a time clock. It's right there. So, you know,
lots of practice.
Right. but some of those grooves, I mean, did you all come up as a collective for some of those grooves, or did he come in with the groove and, you know, like play this or play it like this?
Yeah, he would basically say that. He'd say, give me certain drum beat, 2/4 or whatever, you know, and he'd add the bass and then guitar and keyboards. He would layer everything. You know, he basically told us to play what we felt. You know, he had an idea, but he wanted our feel to the songs.
Gotcha.
You know, and once he got that, he'd take it in, sleep overnight on it, you know, and come back in, and he'd add a few more things onto it.
Okay.
But
and then Eddie Murphy. Okay. And then Eddie Murphy, Val, and Temptations, it was pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, standing on the top, that was a song that a groove that we was doing live, you know, because he would be entertaining the audience, and the band would just go off and play something live. We'd hear one another and just stick to a groove. And there was a groove off of Mary Jane that we was doing something completely different. And he remembered it. And the next day at sound check, he said, play that groove that y'all did last night. And that's what we did. And he came up with the words standing on the top and said, I'm gonna put this on the Temptations because I got asked to give them a song.
And just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually he had the sound man record us doing that groove, you know, doing the live show. That's how he had the idea of it. So.
Oh, okay. And I gotta say, for anybody, you know, and I didn't have the opportunity to see. I saw Rick once, but this was like at the very beginning. I didn't have an opportunity to see him with, you know, when he became like, you know, Rick James like that, and he was like all over the place. But there are all kinds of YouTube videos, and if ever anybody gets the opportunity to go to YouTube, you got to check out Rick James. You talk about net education, you know, and not only him, but as far as like the band and what the band did and what you guys did. I mean, it was always phenomenal. There's one in particular, and I don't remember if that's on YouTube, but the performance you guys did in Germany.
It's on there.
Yeah. Man, talk about, you know, Rick James and Stone City Band University. Yeah, check that out. You got to check that out on YouTube.
Yeah, that was one of our first gigs, that tour. And man, by the middle of the tour, we were just flying off. We were like smoking.
Yeah.
Everything was,
Especially Tom on his solos.
Tom
blew everybody away.
Tom on fire.
Again.
I was hanging open. Tom would do this thing that like the Close Encounters intro, and then he would just shred from there, and everybody's mouth just hanging open, and we all stared at Tom. We forgot what we were playing.
Really? Yeah. Really? So Tom, how did you feel about that, doing all that? I'm sure that was fun for you back then.
It was really fun. You know, it was kind of like nice of Rick to let me have my spot, you know. It just came about, and then I took off with it, you know.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So again, like we said at the beginning, you know, Rick James, you know, comes up with this idea for the Stone City Band. You guys are your own entity, and it's 3 albums, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you guys did most of the recording. I'm sorry, not the recording, but the writing and all that stuff on those albums.
Right.
And that came about. Most of your writing was done again by you all. And was it the same kind of writing where you guys all came together in the studio and said, "Hey"?
No. Like on the tunes that I wrote, I came in with the idea. I wrote off the parts and stuff.
Okay. And fast forward to now, we're in. Well, let's see. Let's go back to 2018. You guys have been starting to re-release some of the songs from your albums, as well as do new versions of some of those songs. In particular, I know like last year, or maybe even this year, Funky Reggae.
Yeah.
That was a song off of one of your albums. Do I have that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And how's that going?
Going real well, man. We just did a short version of it. You know, it's a little different than the long version because we did the long version for the DJs basically.
Oh, okay.
And so, you know, a lot of the DJs wanted a shorter version. So, you know, we went in and did that, you know.
Gotcha.
It's doing real well, you know.
Okay.
We're also working on some new material too, you know.
And that was my next question. What's coming?
Yeah.
What's coming?
We got to get Tom here so he can just burn it.
Yeah.
Tom does have a thing. Tom's got to bring it too, and he brings it every time.
Gotta have Tom.
Brings it every time. Tom, are you doing any writing these days?
Yeah, we're working from home, all of us. But I just changed my hard drive, and I realized I didn't copy over the tunes, so I got to reinstall my hard drive and back them up, and then I've got a couple nice things.
Yeah. Are there any plans of a solo project for you, Tom? Or
no, not really.
no? Why? And why not?
Basically, you know, the band thing. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
You know.
Good answer.
There's more traction there.
Got you. I hear you. I hear you. As far as like now for those that are up and coming and all that, they're like the glory days. I mean, they're you know, those, for the most part, we like to say that, you know, everything is like really fun and good and all that. Over the years that you guys play with Rick, and I mean, even with yourselves, are there any stories that you want to share that are like, you know, maybe not so good that you want to like tell, you know, the public about, that, you know, like things to look out for, whether it be contractually, whether it be people that you worked with? I guess, you know,
all the above.
A negative show, but we're
Yeah.
you know, like I always say, as far as like the playground, you know, when you go on the playground, you play to have fun, but every once in a while you'll fall and you get bumps and bruises, but that does not prevent you from coming back to the playground. So as far as like some of those bumps and bruises, I'm sure you have a lot.
Yeah.
Or any one in particular you want to share? You don't have to mention any names.
You don't have to. It's just when it comes to get paid, you know.
That always seems to be like a general thing.
Everybody, you know, I don't care if you're talking to Toto or whoever, everybody has a problem with getting screwed about money, you know. That's one thing.
So what advice would you offer like those that are coming up in the business or just getting started?
It's so different today, you know. It's like there's really no record company. It's like everybody has to produce their own self and distribute their own, you know, product and everything. Just I would get a band and, you know, record stuff and then send it out and just promote yourself. You know, I think you're better off that way. There's people doing it and they're having some success with it.
I will always tell the young and up and coming musicians, you know, you have the talent and everything, but the main thing you should listen to is get you an entertainment lawyer to go over everything. Whatever paperwork is presented to you, have an entertainment lawyer look it over and explain to you what you're getting into. A lot of them are just winging it, you know, just throwing out material and hoping for something good to come out of it. And some of the time it do be good, but you know, they don't take care of the paperwork and they wonder why they're not getting a certain amount of money coming back to them is because they gave it away.
And what's really sad about that, like Tom said, I mean, the business has changed so much. You know, it's not like the traditional record companies that we came up with, but the business has changed. But you still have to watch out for, like you said, Lanise, as far as like, you know, contracts, and you know, make sure that you have a good lawyer behind you and all that. You definitely don't want to fall into pitfalls. And we have like the shows that are like, you know, the unsungs and the behind the musics that are still like, you know, talking those same stories as far as, you know, the dark side of the music business. So as far as Stone City, where do we find what's coming? How do we find out what's going to be coming? What's coming out with you guys? Is there a website? Is there, you know, do you guys do social networking?
Yes, we're on Facebook,
Instagram.
Okay. Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay. And as far as like those new artists, do you guys listen to any of the new people that are out? Any new artists that you like? You know, you like where they're going, or you know.
Yeah, I do. I subscribe to iTunes, the monthly thing, you know, for $10, and you can listen to anybody and everybody. So I'm always checking out new stuff, new styles and stuff like that, you know, because it's unlike the old days where you'd have to go out and buy the album, you know, you buy that, you only like 3 cuts, you know, this audition the whole thing, keep what you like, and you know, keep it on your playlist. You know?
Right. Anybody in particular that you kind of have an eye on?
There's this new group out of LA. It's a rock group, and like they're one of the people that produce themselves, and they're doing their whole thing, and they're getting a lot of good coverage. They're called Dirty Honey. They put out
Dirty
an
Honey.
EP out, and it's they're kind of like Led Zeppelin and Steve Tyler, you know, that type of stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and there's other groups, you know, like Pink and God, everybody, you know.
Oh yeah.
You give everybody a taste, you know.
Okay. Lanise, Nate, anybody in particular that you guys listen to?
Too many to mention.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I like it all. I get ideas from listening to everybody, man, from the hip hop to jazz, whatever. Because I played a lot of jazz when I was on drums for a while, especially some Herbie Hancock.
Oh, right.
I tell you, man, and, you know, and Chick Corea, you know. Oh man, you know, that expanded my mind.
I tell you, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I mean, during this whole pandemic thing, of course, you know, we're all like, okay, now what do we do? Especially as far as the community. So I find myself like getting into like a lot of documentaries that are on all that stuff. And it started with Miles Davis. And while I say, you know, I liked all these years, I've said I love jazz, I can honestly say that, man, did I get a whole new appreciation after watching like his documentary. And of course that led to, you know, Bird, that led to, you know, I mean, it just led to a whole bunch of these, you know, the world famous like jazz guys. So yeah, you're right. I mean, looking back on Herbie's and right now I'm like listening to a lot of Bob James and things like that. So for me personally, and I mentioned this on early shows, Jacob Collier, that guy, you know, referred to as the Einstein of the music business right now. And I got to say he is, you know, so, so any final words from any of you? Shout outs?
Yeah, shout outs. Shout out to everybody. Stay safe. Hopefully this crazy crap will blow over soon, you know?
Yeah. Where we can get out and play again. I'm so looking forward to that.
Yes.
Lanise, Nate, any
shout out to our manager, Kim
Thank you.
Stair.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
I was hoping you'd mention her. Sweet.
Shout out to our fam in Nashville, Buffalo, North Carolina. We're everywhere.
Awesome.
Yeah. Shout out to my Gloria.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. And, awesome. Well, listen, guys, thank you so much for being on the playground where the players play. We look forward to hearing from you, and we look forward to hopefully, if not the end of this year, the beginning of next year, where we can all get back out there and play again. It's really been a joy having you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having
you, man.
And to everybody watching, thank you again for being with us on the playground where the players come play, and keep listening to the music. That's where it's all happening. Thank you again.
Stay safe.
Thank you, fellas. Stay safe. Awesome.